to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and broadcasting audio on the network.com. Are you ready to witness something you cannot explain?
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky. You realize we're not alone. Open your eyes. You can find the trails that control.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from the bottom left-hand corner of the Nevada Triangle in a city called Fresno, California. Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am your host for the show. I'm also the founder of a group called the Sanger Paranormal Society. Been investigating the paranormal going over 14 years, so I'm just not up here talking about it. I'm actually living it. Got a team. One member of that team sitting right here to the right-hand side of me, Mr. Alan Thomas.
Hi, y'all. I see you out there. Yes, I do.
Thank you for showing up wherever you may be. Appreciate it on a Sunday evening, 6 o'clock p.m. West Coast time, Pacific time, in Fresno, like I said. Thank you very much. We are broadcasting HD quality video on live stream right now, Sunday, 6 o'clock p.m. West Coast time. So, if you are catching this on the rebound, like on our Paranormal Central channel on YouTube, if you ever want to come watch us live and get on chat live, you can do that. Just go to paranormalcentral.net website. There's a link, live stream, takes you right over to our page, and you can click on it and watch us live and chat on the chat. But be careful what you say. That's all I gotta say. Thank you again. Sunday evenings at 6 o'clock. Why do we do it 6 o'clock Sunday evenings? I've been doing this for 8 years at this time. Actually, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, right around, we go back and forth.
And we've gone from 2 hours to 3 hours, 2 hours to 3 hours.
So we're at 2 hours, and so we've always been here at this time, and we're going to continue doing it at this time unless something else major happens and changes for the good for everybody. So, again, we appreciate you guys showing up because it's Sunday, and Sunday, what happens on Sundays, there's football, and there's baseball. Right now, the Dodgers and the Cubs are playing. Actually, I have the TV right in front of me, and I'm watching it. As we're gonna, do the show, I'm gonna keep an eye on the score. Why? I am a Dodger fan. Oh! Don't throw stuff at me. Don't throw stuff at me. Knock it off. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. So, I've been a Dodger fan since I was a midget. All right. So there you go. All right.
You're a midget?
Since I was a midget.
Oh.
I was small. Right now, I'm 6'2". A lot of you guys can't see that, but I'm pretty tall.
And he isn't wearing any pants.
Yeah. There's sometimes I am, and sometimes I
get a lot
ain't.
of people asking me that.
Really? Sometimes I am, and sometimes, because, you only see me from here up.
Yeah.
So, I could be wearing...
I'm not wearing any. We just painted these on.
I could be, who knows. So, there was one time when I think I was wearing shorts, and I forgot, and I went out in front of the mic and did something, or the camera, and people caught me on it and all that kind of stuff.
I think that's when it all started.
And then I wore some pajamas and stuff like that. So, that's just what happens. Okay. So, anyways,
and I bet it happens on regular TV too.
There's a lot of people behind the desk, and you could wear whatever you want. It's all about from here up.
When I worked at the TV station, actually interned at 47. They all were just only in a suit and tie from there up, and they had shorts and flip-flops.
Yeah, like right now, I got flip-flops on. Seriously, I do.
Yeah.
Because you can't see it. All right. Well, tonight, we're going to have a guest. A lot of you guys are going to go absolutely ridiculous. No way, no how. What he is saying is no way, no how. But you know what? He's not the only one that's saying it.
No, he's not. There's actually 2 more guys.
Yeah. So what are we talking about, Jeff? We are talking about giants. Giants. We talk about Bigfoot. We consider them to be, I guess you can say, giants because they're, different sizes. I mean, the last one that we got on film through David Rigos' camera, we put it at about 11 feet. That's pretty tall. I consider that to be a giant. But the giants that we're going to be talking about tonight are way taller than that. I'm going to let him describe what they witnessed, what happened in Kandahar, Afghanistan.
Kandahar,
Yeah, Afghanistan.
I used to be best friends with a giant. He was only like 7'2",
What's
which
the name?
really, I guess that's not a giant. Richard Keel.
He lived in Fresno, for all those who don't know. Richard Keel. Goldfinger.
Yeah, James Bond, Jaws guy.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Okay. He lived here in Fresno, California, guys. And he happened to be really good friends with Alan. And that I know for a fact.
You know what's cool? I went to his, it was not a funeral. It was like a party. And they had bands, and they were playing upbeat music. And they got up there, and everybody was telling really cool, upbeat stories. And while we were inside, they were setting up dessert tables outside under these big awning things. And he had every candy that I've ever known, cakes, cookies, pies.
Did he have a sugar tooth or what?
Every dessert. No, he wanted everybody to remember him happily, like happy. He didn't want to go out. He said everybody needs a party.
Sure.
Because he's still alive. He said he's going to heaven. He's going to be alive, not dead. So don't cry. We'll all see him again later.
Right.
So we were all celebrating, eating pie and cookies and cakes. I never seen that much desserts laid out in my life, man. It was great.
Cool.
Best
How are
party I
we
ever
looking
saw.
on there? Are we looking all right? We're not stuttering.
No, we're looking good.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, in about 15 minutes after the hour, we're going to Skype in audio only. We cannot say this guy's name. We are not the first show he has been on. He's been on a couple of other shows. As a matter of fact, Ellie Marzulli had him on Watchers 10, talking about this. And
You might even be tuned in and watching.
And I've known him way before. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
should we say who he was before or no? No.
No, we shouldn't say, but we've even had him on.
Yeah, we've had him on before, but on another situation. It just, this guy is in the know-how. He is in part of an elite team, and he has seen things that I wish I could see.
Me too.
Right?
It would answer a lot of questions.
Yes. This is going to be the last time ever that he talks about this particular subject on the air.
Wow.
This is it. He said, "You are the last one.
Thank you.
I am done." Because he's still doing some of this stuff, and he can't say his name. We're going to call him Mr. K. And he can't. It's. Like I said, he really shouldn't be doing this, but he's going to tell us some of what he knows. I don't know how much he's going to tell us. He's going to tell us what happened, what he saw, what he witnessed, what they did to this giant. We're talking, we're talking, again, movie stuff, man.
It is.
This stuff is not supposed to be real. I mean, come on, really? Look, this dude here, hairy guy behind me, this stuff is supposed to be imagination, but we know he's real. We know they're real.
Yeah.
Why do we know this stuff is real, Jeff? It's because he has seen one.
You've seen one.
I saw
I know
something.
you did.
I saw something running. The size of this thing was something that I could not debunk.
It was a giant.
It was something very large, okay? I wish I would have seen more of it when it happened, but it wasn't my time. things have happened to us that is telling me, after trying to debunk it, that this stuff is real. No doubt in my mind. And that's why we're doing this for you guys.
You know what's cool? It's like more than one time, too.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We have 2 spots now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, more than one time. And actually 3 spots. Because one of them's in Thule.
Oh, I forgot about the Thule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, when we go out, it isn't like, I mean, it happens all. It isn't like we had one thing and then we're chasing our tail.
Right.
We actually bring back audio and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's for real.
Weird things. So
Yeah.
we're going back up to the spot in a couple weeks. On the 29th of October, we're going back up, and we're going to get the SD cards from the spot, the crate where I left all the fruit, and hopefully we got something again. I don't know. It's, the odds at this point in time are pretty good. But let's hope we get something. Like I said, I haven't been up there since. Isaac is coming from the Bay Area that weekend, and we're going to go up there, and we're going to go and get the SD cards, download them on the computer, and then...
Doesn't mean we'll see anything.
No,
though. Just like last time.
Dumbasses,
actual fans on the found that.
Right. And we're gonna put new batteries in the cameras. Hopefully they are still there.
Hopefully.
And let's see what happens. All right. So it's pretty exciting stuff. Actually, there's a lot more going on, and I'm sure you guys are aware of the elections and everything that's happening around us. The Russia, us. World War III, possibly. We're going to talk about that after we talk to Mr. K. I also have somebody else that we're going to talk to. This gentleman called me about 3 days ago. He said he spotted something in Fresno, California, flying in the skies. And then we started talking. He is of an older age gentleman. He was in the Vietnam War.
Cool.
He was on an aircraft carrier that carried nukes, and they all witnessed UFOs flying around that aircraft carrier. He wants to tell us about it.
Cool.
Okay? We're not going to say his name, but you will hear it from him. He had other stories, but this one here, I said, you have to come on the air and tell us what you know. And he had to think about it, and I called him back. Actually, he called me out yesterday, and he said, okay, I'll come on. But we can't say his name.
Cool.
Because he's a vet, and of his medical, he doesn't
want to get cut off.
He doesn't want to get cut off.
In fact, that was one of the things
Mr.
from
K.
our guest tonight.
Yeah, he still has friends and relatives in the military, and it's very touchy subject. You can't really talk about a lot of stuff because retaliation is what they're afraid of, and I don't blame them. So, all right, let's go
Especially
ahead.
if you have medical conditions.
Yes, let's go ahead and get Mr. K on the Skype audio only.
Okay, I'm gonna message him a little bit here and
Okay.
say.
So we're gonna get him on, and
I've already been messaging with him.
Okay,
so,
cool.
yeah. He should be there.
there he is.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Mr. K, how's it going?
How you doing, brother?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Right on.
man.
How you guys doing? Am I sounding better than?
Oh yeah, a lot better.
You
Lot
sound
better.
great.
You sound great.
Good.
Okay,
Good.
awesome. Can we tell you who you were last time when you were talking to us? I mean, as far as
It's probably not
Okay.
because I will tell you this. I even heard it, and it sounded like what everybody
Yeah,
thought.
no problem.
But it wasn't, and you guys know that.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Because
absolutely.
we talked beforehand,
Yeah.
and it just sounded exactly what people thought.
Right, exactly. So, okay, cool. All right. Well, Mr. K, thank you very much for coming on the air with us. I know it. You were thinking about it, and you're thinking maybe or maybe not. And this is going to be the last time you're going to talk about this particular subject.
Correct.
And I don't blame you because this is a touchy subject. Why? Because, I mean, come on, giants. We believe it on this side. Okay, we understand there is stuff out there that is how do you acknowledge something like this, right? And from you though, coming from you, hopefully it's going. And I'm not going to say convince, but giving your story, your 2 cents. Hopefully people will understand that hey, there's definitely something else going on out there.
It'll give them something to think about anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and where do you want to start? You want to give everybody or let everybody know who, what you. All right. Okay,
we
we're back on. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I don't know what happened there, but okay, Mr. K.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start at?
Well, why don't we try to start at the beginning?
Okay, start at the
Sounds
beginning.
good.
All right. Now, you guys know before the story actually went live, I had talked to you both while you guys were getting in a vehicle to go do an investigation, correct?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. And then I sent you later, one of you, nobody needs to know who it is, and I'm sure you've destroyed it, my DD-214s and SF-50s, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I did the same once this story got out to other people. All right? Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you from the beginning what happened. I do not, and I will not, and I told the man, L.A., and he knows this, I can't confirm that it was the same thing. I can confirm certain things. Another person he found independently confirmed this, okay? This guy called it the Kandahar Giant. I'm not going to say if it was in Kandahar or not, okay? But it was in Afghanistan. Stephen Quell's reporting of it, I only heard it after I relayed this story to, and you guys both know this, I didn't mention anything about Stephen Quell, didn't know anything about him. And you guys knew I was new to the paranormal scene, correct?
Correct.
Right. So I told him this was my experience. There was an SF unit that went out, and at this time it was a MITS operation, also the hunt for bin Laden. Okay? He had not, and anyways, I'm not even going to dispute the stuff that Obama said, but it's incorrect.
Right.
But there was a search, and everybody, this is common knowledge, everybody knows there was a search going on. And one of the SF teams failed to make a rally point communications. They didn't communicate. Well, at this point, alarm bells start going off in the TOC. And also the ADOC. People in the military know I'm telling factual stuff. I was working for a certain federal agency, which you guys have seen the paperwork on, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
What ended up happening is that I got attached to him. You can see it in video in Watchers 10. I'm not trying to sell the movie. I'm telling you that I'm telling a story that actually happened. Now, here's what happened. I get out with the other bros of my team, and we'd been working together for a while. And we head out. We're going to go and try to find this other team. We're loaded up with a couple of Barretts, ARs for the most part, and our final piece of loadout is a couple, you know, the British like to call them LMGs, light machine guns, but it's 7.62 by 51, you know, 308s, what we call in America. So we head out. We're going down and around this whole mountainside. We're following their path, basically, where they've been making their check-ins. There's this beautiful, nice goat path. We have a nice dispersal. And It's been edited because it's long. Trust me, everything I'm telling you is longer than once the actual initiation happened. It's longer than it took for it to happen because I have to explain it. We're talking 30 seconds once contact was made.
Wow.
Okay? And it was, in my opinion, God-given. It was something that we all realized after the initial contact what was up. So, we come down this goat path, and it is a downward, coming down a mountainside. That's all I'll say. We come down, and it opens up. As you come around, it's almost like there's big boulders. I'm trying to explain it to you. On my right, and then there's still the mountainside coming over. And for a long time, and even to this day, I don't know how it knew we were there. I think I have a clue, and I told that to LA, but I don't really, and it happened as I was relaying the story. But we came down, and all of a sudden there's a cliff area where it spreads out, rocky outcrop, and there was a cave entrance, but it was askew. It wasn't directly in front of us. It wasn't in the wall. It's not like, but it was sort of at an angle. And we saw it, so we got a little bit of a dispersal, not much, but we had enough area where we could actually get some dispersal. Just because, you know, that we're thinking predation, something, but as we're going to the cave entrance, there's the other RTO from the other operator base group. His radio, along with body parts, and you guys have heard this before, so you're going to be bored, but
No.
your listeners may not.
No, go for it, man.
I'm not bored.
We instantly knew this is where it happened, and an animal could, you know, people get shot in a war zone, dogs, coyotes, or hyenas, whatever's in the area is going to chew on them. So we're still not really freaked out at this point. And we're just thinking, okay, there's something in this cave, you know, Taliban, whatever. Well, we start to get our dispersal out, and something I've never seen in my life happened, and you only have my word on it. It's something I'll never forget. This big dude comes walking out. When I say walking out, it wasn't walking. He was coming out ready to do damage. And he did. He skewered he skewered one of the best dudes I've ever met, Dan. We used to call him Dan the Man. Just, I'll use his name, and he's the only one I'm using. And he came out with a spear, old school spear. It's weird. Anyways, and he had this funky looking shield. It was thick. It was heavy. Afterwards, it took 6 of us to lift it to get it on the bird.
Dang, dude.
He skewered him and held him and was going for more. And I'm not saying I'm the one who said it, but I know we all said it almost in unison. Shoot him in the head. Shoot him in the face. Like I said, I know it's boring you guys.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
way.
Don't leave anything out.
We're being real quiet because we're so interested.
The audience hasn't heard it.
Right.
So, we open up. And we do direct fire to the head. And all I can say is, the way I think about it is, we must have, with our bullets, basically, and I'm telling you this, I was asked a lot of questions. Is there double rows of teeth? Are they angled in, angled out? I couldn't tell you because of the damage we did to the head. Okay? If they were angled in, which some were, I don't know if that was the bullet or if it was how it was grown. You know, like I said, this took 30 seconds.
Right.
Anyway, so that ended.
How tall was this thing?
12 to 15 feet.
Okay.
And that's conservatively.
Yeah.
I think it was more along the lines of 18 feet, but I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm just trying to relate a story. Something happened later, but anyway, so I'm not gonna give you a direct answer on that because I'd be lying. Anyways, during this time, we radioed in, told them what we found. We needed a medevac. We thought we could save him. We treated him as we could. The medic did.
No, you're talking about your buddy Dan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he passed. Once he passed, he was still, people in the military will understand, if you have something shoved through you, you don't pull it out, you bandage around it. You try to stop what's happening. You throw an IV on them. Combat thing. It's what you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you try all things you know to do. You try.
Right. And anyways, he passed. And then after that happened, all of us are waiting for the birds to come, just thinking it's a pickup, whatever. But it was a weird pickup. It's the most bizarre pickup I've ever been on. The first bird that came in was basically looked very similar to back. I'm a Cold Warrior. I go back to the Cold War. I guarded nukes. Okay? And back then we had these things called Jolly Green Giants, which the Air Force used to pick up heavy stuff. That was the first bird, and they dropped a net. The netting, if people have been in the military, they know in the Air Force how cargo netting goes on these flat pallets, these aluminum pallets. But that's what they dropped. And this netting also had the little hoops on the end. People in the military understand what those hoops are. It's for the hook to grab onto. So we picked, moved this dead weight, wrapped it around. He still had hold of the shield. And then you just grab the other end of the hoop to the hook, and they hoisted. We ended up having the spear did come out of Dan once he passed. We pulled it out. We ended up having to load onto the next bird with the spear. And because that was the orders, we were taking everything out. And we flew out on the next bird. Like I said, it was big enough to land a bird on, but it wasn't a massive opening like you would think. Hard to explain to you, but we all got out of there. And then we were told to sign non-disclosure agreements, threatened with all different kinds of things. I don't care anymore. I'm an old guy, like you guys can assume. I know you both have seen my page and know what I do. I'm just trying to relate a real story to let people know there are things that the government does cover up and that they do. Whether you believe me or not, I really don't care.
Well, when we got cut off, one of my question was, like, I heard from others that are in the military and they're close, like relatives, that that's not the only one. Like, you guys didn't get the only one. You know what I mean? Like, it happened to be 4.
I've heard that both ways, that we're the first, we're the last. I don't know. I'm not gonna, and I found that out because of how LA is diligent on researching it.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm not gonna, like I said, if I give the exact date, that gives everything up.
Right.
And then I'm, like I said, I did have to sign a non-disclosure agreement. So that's, you guys have heard this before. My story hasn't changed.
Right.
I'm not gonna try to make it sound better than it is or worse than it is. I don't care. You know, I'm just trying to let the people know.
So, what do you think this thing was? We talk a lot about Bigfoots and giants here as well, here in America. What do you think that thing was? I mean, was it part human? Was it hybrid? Was it part animal, part human? What did it look like to you?
Oh, it was human. There's no hybrid to it. Red-headed, had 6 fingers, 6 toes. Longish hair. When I say red hair, I'm talking about, and I'm sure we've all met them, not the strawberry blonde, but we're talking the natural red hair, that fire red hair that you'll find. It's almost a blackish. It's so dark, it's like blackish. Beard. I think, and this is my own opinion, it's only because of my religious upbringing, I think he was Nephilim. But it doesn't, you know what? I don't know. I didn't do a DNA test. I didn't exist during that time. I'm giving you the best information I can, and shoot him in the head. Well, I guess it worked for a certain guy that threw a stone to the forehead of a giant and then decapitated it. And I think the decapitation is actually what kills him. And basically, with all that fire directed at his head, I think we decapitated it in a real sense.
Right.
So, anyways, like I said, I'm not trying to justify myself. I'm just trying to tell you guys and you guys have heard this before. Like I said, I know you're bored about it.
No. Hey, okay, stop saying we're bored about it. All right, dude, because we're not bored. This thing is so interesting. You can say that you can tell the story over and over and over again, and it is not boring. Trust
would
me.
Be all ears every single time.
Right.
You guys know I broadcast from places other than my home.
Mm-hmm.
They have to run voice recognition software, which they may be doing, but even then, people love to think the NSA is all-encompassing, and yeah, they don't just collect metadata, but the beautiful part is that it's like putting a fire hose out with full flow and trying to shove a garden hose into it. That's how much information you're going to get out of it. And that's the easiest way I can say. If somebody disbelieves, like, oh, the military, yeah, they'll figure it out, maybe. I haven't given you guys any dates, and if there are multiple ones, which I'm not confirming,
that makes it that much harder.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you said to yourself that you're a religious person, so you think this thing was the Nephilim, because 6 toes and the six fingers, 6 toes, pretty much gives it away right there.
And the red hair.
And you mentioned about the second row of teeth that you could not tell, only because when you guys opened up on it, you guys pretty much destroyed its face, so you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Now, clothing, was it just wearing something around its waist to cover its private parts, or what was it wearing?
Yeah, as I told them, of course, because of their video process and stuff, when the artist finally did it, they got like a tunic on him and stuff, and it looked like we had disturbed him and even had like shoes on him. And I explained to him there was no shoes on him. He came out and basically, I don't really know how to describe it. It was like a loincloth kind of thing. And the boggling thing was he had a spear and a sword, or a spear and a shield. And the boggling thing to me is that he was ready to do battle. And he even spoke. In the movie,
Dang.
Richard, who is the producer for LA,
Right.
had this. I was telling him how this guy, I don't know if he said something, yelled something, but it sounded like communication of some sort. And he said, "I've got this sound. Do you want to hear it?" And I said, "Sure," because I described it. And he goes, "Is this what you heard?" And I said, "Exactly. That's exactly what I heard."
Dang, he had the sound?
He had the sound, but it was a Bigfoot sound that somebody had taped years ago.
Oh, man. Whoa.
Okay.
So I want to make sure everybody realizes I misspoke. When I said shield, I said sword. I meant shield and spear. I said that very clearly, and I misspoke just because I was trying to think about things too much.
Right.
How big was the spear? I mean, they're like, okay, he has one guy on it, and he's trying to get another guy on it, right?
The blade, he could have gotten multiples. The blade itself was 3 foot, easily.
Dang.
LA had found something from Chief Riverwind or something like that, and gotten a cast of the same kind of thing. And that was exactly what I saw, except for it was a little different. It went through his, of course, anybody in the military or in law enforcement will know, it will go through a knife or something like that. Is going to go through any vest you're wearing.
Right.
If it's put through with enough force. And this thing had enough force to lift Dan with his left hand while he's still skewered on his spear, and Dan slowly falling down from the blade into this thing. Was probably a total of, I'd say, 18 to 19 feet tall.
Dang.
Because it almost went out the back of the helicopter when we went out.
Wow. Man, he had to be massively, like I saw a Bigfoot once, and I watched it about an hour, okay? And it was around 11 or 12 feet tall, and he was massive. I mean, he looked like he was on steroids, kind of like. You know what I mean? Like, he lived in a gym and did steroids, and I was thinking, massive shoulders, right? Like really wide, big. What you're describing sounds like what I saw, only had fur on him, and he was jet black. But still, like, be able to lift up someone with one hand like nothing.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're just nothing. Like, got him and was still coming at you and everything. And man, dude.
Okay, so when you guys...
Hey, hold on. Give me a second, man.
Yeah. So when you guys arrived at the site and you saw the body parts everywhere, then you're telling me this thing was a cannibal.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He had done predation. We did go into the cave. I did explain that, but anyways, I don't really want to get into a lot of this. Like I said, this always brings up some heavy stuff to me.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Okay.
like I said, man, I'm just trying to let people know. And it's been continued under this administration. You guys know what I do for a living.
Right. Yeah, so I think maybe you guys got ambushed by him. Like he was
Yeah.
ready for you, right?
Oh, he came out with the quickness. I mean, with the speed, I cannot. He was proportional.
Mm-hmm.
He was massive. I bet this thing could have lifted a cow.
Yeah. Or a
with
car.
problem. Or a car.
Yeah.
With no. I'm like I said, I'm not going to try to explain everything because I'm not a biologist.
Right.
I'm not that guy. I am a guy that makes a living with a gun. Anyway, so
Okay. So you guys, you called in. They came with a bird. Was it a double a double propeller? Right. I mean, a big Huey. I'm
yeah,
thinking,
it was
right?
it wasn't a Huey.
No.
It was a big copter. Yeah.
Okay.
Not gonna talk about the copter.
Sure. Okay.
Exactly.
So you guys. So who authorized? What was the purpose of bringing it back?
Well, when the radio came in, it said we're sending 2 copters, one for the team, one for it, and didn't really realize what they were doing. Didn't think they'd be bringing a heavy lift copter, but they did. We also used, you got to remember during that time, we were also, because of Azerbaijan and a couple other places we were bouncing out of into Afghanistan, we were using a lot of Russian helicopters too. So I'm not being very specific with equipment because that sort of pins me down.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
That's fine.
And I'm not going to. I'm just letting you know there is even today, like, I laugh because they're saying the Russians are hacking and this, that, and the other. I happen to know who's hacking, and it's not the Russians. There's actually people trying to fix this country from our own country. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not going to get political on your show.
Why
But
not?
Well, see,
Why not?
I think you're right. Like a lot of people, they're like, there's a few bad guys in the government, like maybe the ones running things, kind of like, but only the ones that are working in there. I actually think they're on our side. A lot of them, and take that for what it's worth.
You won't be wrong with that thought.
I think so. Yeah.
Right now they're announcing to the world that we're going to retaliate. Well, you know what? Let's talk about this maybe afterwards, but let's continue with the giant. Okay, so I'm assuming that our government already knows about these giants because they obviously sent over a second copter for this thing because they wanted it out of there.
Yeah.
And obviously they're going to take it someplace. Did they bring it back? Did they bring it back to America?
We flew, I don't know where they brought it. I mean, you can hazard a guess. I lived pretty close to probably where they bought it or brought it. But what I'm saying is, here's how I'll put this. We landed, we were watching it being put on the aluminum skid as we were landing. And we landed, and I'm not going to get into the specifics. But yeah, we got close to it as it was being unloaded. That's all I'm going to say. Because it can't be edited. This is going out live.
Right.
LA's heard the story on what happened. We're still tripping because Dan's dead. Anyways, so it went away in another bird, in a fixed wing bird. They could fly it out, and that's all I'll say.
Well, that would be all you know, really.
Yeah, I'm not gonna elaborate or try to make stuff up.
Right. I mean, you seen it get in another plane and away it went. Like,
Yeah.
So when you guys left in your own bird, you guys were probably in shock at this point. I'm pretty sure. Did you guys
Yes.
did you guys talk about it while you guys were flying out of there? What the hell just happened? What it was? What did you guys do on that bird on the way back?
Any combat veteran will tell you don't really talk on a bird if somebody's died in your unit.
Okay.
There's a lot of emotion, especially when they're in the bird in the bird with you. When you land and stuff, maybe different things will happen. But I'm not going to get into it. Like I said, that will put too much out there. Like I said, I'm just trying to be honest with you guys.
Right.
And that's it. And whether you guys believe it or not, your listeners, it really doesn't bother me. But there are people, and I'm not the only one, and they know about this one and they know about others. And that's all I'll say, because I know that.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Do you think that we're in Afghanistan, like Iraq? Do you think we went in there for another reason other than the Twin Towers?
Yes, I know that.
So do you think we went... Okay, you can just say yes or no, maybe whatever, but do you think that there is areas in Iraq that the Bible speaks of, possibly like, let's see if I can go, like maybe stargates or portals or things with great technology that maybe we needed to get?
Here's what I'll say is, you guys both know I served in both countries, besides other Middle Eastern countries. And a fake Kalamatabi. I do speak Arabic.
Sweet.
You guys knew that, though, from our conversation. I don't know. At least here's how I'm going to put this. I'm not going to confirm what you just said to me. But there were other reasons.
Okay. Have you seen other stuff other than the Giant itself? Because I have heard military personnel seeing lights in the skies that just doesn't resemble our crafts at all.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Do you think?
But I don't know what they were. I mean, it could have been a flare. Who knows? I'm not gonna go and start.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to think of some questions to ask without really, getting you in trouble. So, do you believe? Then you said you're a religious person, right?
Right.
The Bible itself talks about, Iraq, the Middle East, the Garden of Eden, all that.
Right. I've driven past the walls of Nineveh outside of Mosul. So I've been to Balad. I've been to where Saddam was trying to rebuild a certain tower. These things I've seen, and I do believe that Mesopotamia, Iraq, the Garden of Eden still exists, but there is an angel, and you could drive right through it. There's angels on every entrance and exit, and you would never know it because it's a thin slice of space and time, because no man shall ever return, no human, to that garden after the expulsion. So that's my belief.
Well, there's some of them, like, I believe that stuff too. Like, I actually believe the parent, or one of the parents, or the half of the parent, the father, is buried underneath, or chained down underneath the river right there, underneath.
Yes.
And I've heard that you can feel that kind of stuff when you're there. You know what I mean? Like, as you're driving through, you could feel that. Like, this is some things I've been told from.
There's a prison.
Yeah, prison is under there.
And, yeah. And
Yeah.
I can confirm that. Like I said, people in the military and stuff know I worked MITs, mobile interrogation teams. Okay, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Well-
you could break people in a lot of different ways. I just moved around, did my job, didn't ask questions, did it, and well, anyways, that's all I'm going to.
Okay, so what Ellen was saying, that if people don't know, that there's a prison underneath the ground,
Right.
which states that
See, I was telling
you were
Jeff
you
this
were telling me
like
this.
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And the people that go, they don't want to be down there at all. Even the guys that work there, because they feel it, they hear it, and whatever it is, they know it. They could just feel this like evil, really like pervasive evil.
Okay, so
Let
what?
me confirm it. It's pure evil.
Pure
That's all I'll
evil.
say. I'll listen to you guys ask a question. I'm going to go grab another Diet Pepsi.
Okay, right on. Okay, but you were just talking about. Okay,
I was
so what
just
Ellen was
telling you
what?
this.
Explain to everybody.
And this isn't coming from him now, okay, you guys. This is something that I get from my own intel.
Okay,
You
go
know,
ahead.
whatever.
Go ahead and tell everybody what you're talking about. The prison. What's this prison all about? Why is there a prison there? Who's in the prison? Who's maintaining the prison? Who's there?
See, I don't know why they put the prison. I think they put it there because they know what's under the ground there, and the people over there, the people that live there, around there, like, they know, they believe more than we do about what we're talking about, because it's their history, right?
Right.
Like we believe in Lincoln and President George Washington and all that kind of stuff. That's their history. And when you talk to those guys, I think they put the prison there just because of that's the evil part. You know what I mean?
Okay, now why? What evil? What are we talking about?
A
Evil.
fallen angel is actually chained down under the river. And actually, like, if the Bible is
Oh, are we still on over there?
yeah.
Okay.
If the Bible is correct, that they're actually going to unchain that, or that thing's going to be unchained and let loose. Not only that one, but there's like
So, okay.
200 or 199 other ones. There's 200 of them actually chained down.
Okay. So who put this prison down, or who? Okay.
I think Saddam Hussein or something like that built the prison.
That you're exactly correct. It was Saddam Hussein, because of the bad vibes. Look,
Yeah. I mean, what better way to
Iraqis-
scare the
Iraq-
hell out of people? You know what I mean? Like, get information from them. I'm going to go lock you in that prison. And they can feel the evil before they even get in it. You know what I mean? Like,
Iraqis are unique in the Middle East. The jinn is very real to them.
yeah.
That's what we call genies. But they have a different sort of thought. All these things that we look at and think of as story tells to our kids, they believe in. I would never have believed a lot of things, but experience is excuse my French, B word for a dog.
You can say it. We're on the internet.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if you were still on radio.
Yeah, life's a bitch.
Experience is a bitch of a teacher. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Bitch of a teacher, and in my 30 plus years of serving this government in some capacity, I have progressively, here's how I'll put it to you. A van full of naked women on fire could drive by me and I would not be shocked.
Yeah, that means you've seen it all pretty much. Or
Pretty
seen
much.
a lot. You know, then that's exactly what I hear. Like my relatives, some of them don't like talking about it, but you know, like what we and Jeff do, I mean, I can't help myself. You know what I mean? I'm like, I need to know all of it. You know, whatever they can tell me, and they're like you. They don't want to say. They just say a little bit, but only it's all real. It's real to them now, and before it was a fairy tale. Like
Right.
what was I was coming at him with the giant thing, and I was telling him, I think the Greek, when they start talking about Zeus and, you know, Mercury and all these guys, you know, I actually believe they were those guys. The ones that you shot up in the head, like you shot their head off. Because if they were any kind of god like they say they were, they would be here today still.
Right.
You know, they wouldn't be dead. But they're the men of renown or whatever that the Bible talks about. And they you know, I mean, like if you came across something 18 feet tall that could, you know, lift a Volkswagen and toss it at you, I mean, you'll think it's a god,
Yeah.
you know?
I get it. I'm a believer.
Well, you're a believer because you've seen this stuff, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's. Were you a believer before
No. I was always a believer in the Bible.
in the
but
Bible, right?
I just didn't. I thought that stuff ended after Noah.
Right.
And I think, you know, the more I look at Revelations, you know, the more I see that evil will resurface. And I think it's here.
So, do you think the evil there? You know, we're running. We are. This is some crazy times that we're at here, Mr. K, with the elections coming up.
Right.
Okay. And we were going to talk about this afterwards, and now we're at the point where let's go ahead and talk about it now.
It might be tied in.
Yeah, it could be tied into what's happening. You know, our government right now, on Friday, the news, CNN came out and said the United States is about to unleash a hack. They're going to hack the Russians.
Right.
Because of what they did to us. And what I'm saying is they're trying to tell everybody that the Russians were the ones who broke in to the DNC and got the emails, blah, blah, blah. Now, why in the hell is Obama and Hillary trying to initiate trouble with Russia? Now, everybody, you know, since the Cold War, me in the 70s thinking Russia was always bad, you know, we're gonna cause a nuke war. They're going to obliterate everybody. We're going to shoot missiles. They're going to shoot back. There's going to be nothing left. And from what I have been hearing from Putin and his people, that they want Trump to win.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's because there's a different thought process. And look, I stood on the wall well, you've seen the pictures, me going back to Berlin and meeting up with my brothers. I stood on there when there was a wall in Berlin. I stood there when the whole commie scare was going on in the mid-'80s. Early to mid-'80s. What I'll say is I think we have neophytes and academics running things right now where you have people getting triggered because you say some word. You know, they've forgotten the old adage of sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. All this silly crap, the colleges are throwing it at these people and making them think they're special snowflakes. Every child's precious. Every child's a miracle. But yet we abort how many? 60 million every year?
Yeah.
As it says in the Bible, in the end of time, so will be the day of Noah. And I happen to believe, look, Putin was the head of KGB and GRU ops in Berlin Station while I was there. I can tell you that. He's not a long-legged Mac Daddy who just happens to be black. He's actually an operator. And he's actually helping his people to get prepared because he knows that if certain people don't win, the idiot in the White House now or the female that wants to come in, if she gets elected, are going to lob nukes to try to hide their corruption.
Right.
Hopefully the American people wake up, but I doubt they will because we've been dumbed down. Civics isn't being taught.
Well, I have good news for you then. Like, I've been researching this stuff, like the giants and all this stuff, and in the scripture, okay? So that you know what the truth is. I actually believe the Bible tells the truth, right? And the way the country's going and the way the world's going, I mean, it's just going right along with the storyline, you know what I mean? But anyways, it shows, I think I found where it shows America, and I think all the wars, you know, like everybody says we're maybe the mystery Babylon or something like that. I actually don't believe we are. I actually believe Saudi Arabia is, with all the wealth and the gold cars and all that stuff. Those guys are that.
Same with Dubai.
Yeah.
Same with Kuwait. I've seen not just gold, I've seen platinum cars, bro. I got a picture, I believe, where you guys could actually access it, and yeah, there's a platinum car that some prince owns.
See, those guys is the mystery Babylon. I actually believe when they talk about Revelations, they're talking about right around the Mideast, not here.
Right.
Okay, but I found us.
But we are becoming Babylon.
Right.
You have a resurgence in most communist countries of Christianity and former communist countries. China has more conversions to Christianity, and I don't want to make this a religious program either, so I apologize.
That's okay.
But what I will say is the U.S. is becoming less religious, and we now allow certain things that were never allowed in our country. Soon there'll be bestiality marriage that you'll be able to have, or if I love a little boy or I love a little girl, I can marry that.
Well, you could go in their bathroom
has
right now.
become the name of the game in the United States of America, and God will not smile on that. We throw 60 million babies into the toilet every year.
Well, the good news I found where when it talks about like when the final battle, you know, the one and everybody's talking about it, World War III with Putin and all this stuff, but really World War III is going to be in the Middle East, not the America. But it talks about there in, I can't remember exactly the verse now, but only God's talking about the end where he is in the battle there in the Middle East, and he's destroying Egypt and Assyrians and all this stuff. But he's going to use, he said, the gods of war, okay? And the gods of war are, he said, terrible in war, but it's other countries that are terrible and that are really good warriors, right? I mean, like, they kick butt. Can anyone think of any country that can kick butt worse than the America? I think we're the god of war. I think we're the ones that's terrible, and we're going to go help him destroy that evil thing, you know.
Under Obama.
Not under Obama, no.
No. Now under Obama, there's a reality, and you guys know I still have people serving.
Yeah.
And they know this reality. I like to call it the fast reality, hashtag. Here's what it is. The reality is we have 1,500 nukes, and they're all ancient and non-updated.
Right.
Okay? There's a problem with that. You have certain things that will expire over time. Okay? Anybody who knows anything about this stuff knows I'm telling the truth. The Russians have updated and advanced their technology while we've sat down and done nothing. Could we retaliate? Yeah. But back in my era, there's a 50% failure rate that we estimated on Russian nukes. Okay? I would say that's probably reversed now, where we had 100%, they had 50. I would say that's reversed now.
Well, I'm saying
I do believe Trump is going to win in a landslide because there has been an awakening of the American people, and it's going to be the old silent majority.
Yeah.
But here's the funny part about this. We are so polarized right now. People would probably call me a homophobe for saying what I said. I'm not a homophobe. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. I just know that, you know, when you're marrying an animal or you're marrying a kid, a child, that's not correct. Nobody can say that's correct.
No.
Even a homosexual that was legitimately moral would not say that is correct. And so I really don't care the names you call me. That's the whole thing. You know, that's why you have the rise of the alt-right now. That's why the Republican Party has made themselves invalid during this election. Because the people are fed up. It's two heads feeding the same snake body, in my opinion.
Man, it is. It is.
And do you think the whole military as a whole think the same way?
No, I do not. And that's from meeting people.
Why? So, why? I mean, everybody has to see what our administration, our government is doing right now, and
They do.
and
Globally.
so you're telling me that they want to see Hillary in? A lot of them do.
No. I'm saying there's a portion of them. You have a dichotomy in the military and in different agencies. Thank God none of them that I served in. Matter of fact, the last one, the first time they ever supported a presidential candidate. But you have a lot of them that the bureaucracy over time with Clinton, see, the Reaganites have all retired. Clinton, you still have the older hands, and by this time they've risen up into the bureaucracy. And it's all bureaucratic. That's the whole minutia nobody looks at.
Yeah.
That this stuff is reality. And that's why I say we are so polarized. We're not mentioned in the end times, no matter what you think, Alan. We're not mentioned because we're probably going to be in a civil war when end times come. Going to be very honest with you.
Well, I'm hoping they're not.
No matter who wins.
That's true. I could see that one happening just by looking at Facebook.
And do you think that's the reason why they've been moving military vehicles everywhere all over the U.S.?
Yep.
And making bunkers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So they were they were planning on something happening right around election time then.
Yep. Obama's already said he will not tolerate having somebody as unfit for office as Trump take office.
Yeah, he already. I know he said that.
He's already said it.
Yeah. So he has to, and we've been talking about that here. That we think he's going to create a diversion of some type where either the elections are going to be canceled or something is going to happen, a false flag here in the United States of America that's going to allow him to cause martial law.
More than likely.
Like a Russian war.
Like a nuke going off in a city someplace and us blaming Russia.
And as soon as we blame Russia, Putin's not going to play around. He will first strike us. And we don't have reparations that most of these communist countries have. That's a reality, folks. EMP, I spoke about this before. EMP is our major downfall.
Right.
Because for, what was it, $300 million, we could have EMP proofed America. We no longer produce, Trump is very correct, we no longer produce the things that bring the electric up and down as we travel it through our nation's grids. We no longer produce the things that if we got an EMP attack, we would have to fix. And yet we could have shielded everything, and yet it's been successive administrations. Once it became alerted, and it starts, I hate to say it, under Ronaldus Magnus, Ronald Reagan, on up, that they just kept kicking the can down. And we are more likely to have a catastrophic event from an EMP than any other nation on the planet. Just gonna be honest with you. And
Yeah.
it sounds like blackpilling you guys. I'm not.
It could be from our own too. That's what's so sucky.
Yeah,
you
it
know.
could.
It really
But they'll
could.
use that as a launching pin to say, let's go get them. Let's get them. And Putin will be like, okay, you want to play brinksmanship? I'm not playing with you amateurs, you academics. I'll just end your line. And they will.
Well, Putin already had 40 million of their countrymen do drilling, not drilling, but test
Right.
of nuclear war. They were already doing drills over there in the past about 2 weeks ago.
About a week and a half ago, they
Yeah,
did that.
yeah.
40 million went to their fallout shelters. They were also doing other things. I mean, it's nothing different, but just like our highway system, it was designed under civil defense to where you could land aircraft and shelter them under bridges. I mean, everything. People are idiots. When you look at if the Stafford Act is ever enacted for emergency management, for martial law, let me make myself very clear. Every city is ringed by some sort of outer belt, okay? And it connects to all the rest of the highways. So if I want to declare martial law in a city, all I got to do is cut off the outer belt. And you're not getting any food in, and you're not coming out. And I'm using very little personnel to stop that flow.
Wow. We've talked about that here. We've talked about, I'm a prepper. I've been prepping for a while, and I've told myself if the SHIT happens and EMP doesn't knock out my vehicle where I can drive it away, we're heading up to the mountains. But, there's 2, 3, 4 tops roads that take you up to the mountains. They're all going to be blocked off.
Right.
And they're going to keep everybody in so they can.
The best plan is shelter in place. Find your brothers and sisters that you know that are local and get mutual aid groups going. And I'm not talking militias or any of that stuff, but people you know that have common belief and make a mutual protection, aid thing. It's common sense. It's what we have to go back to, a tribal mentality and thought process where the Muslims who are coming over here and into Europe under the invasion, they are tribal. They understand this. The West, we are not. And so we fell because we're not.
Yeah. It's sad. Really is.
You guys have to understand, we're 2 weeks, 3 weeks away from all this, if it's going to happen.
Yeah,
Well, I don't
that's
say
right.
it will happen immediately. I mean,
Right.
you got to think everything, and it could take months, years, weeks. I mean, shoot, back before they called it prepper, it was survivalism, and I was doing that back then because I had happened to read 2 very good books, and people just buy these 2 books and you're going to enjoy it. One is Mel Tappan's Survival Guns, and the other one is by Dr. Bruce D. Clayton, and it's called Life After Doomsday. Buy those books. Just read them. They're rational, well-thought-out books without the fear porn, and you'll understand what I mean.
Yeah, man. I think the fear porn thing is Facebook. They're
Right.
only letting you see post. I've noticed, like I have quite an extensive friend list, so I'm like looking through there, and I thought maybe some of them aren't my friends anymore, and I looked around and found that I just don't see their post.
Right.
It's like being
controlled.
it's being controlled, what I see, and kind of crazy. And it's making opinions where they don't even have, I mean, like, people are forming opinions on it from that, or beliefs, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's really weird. They're messing with us.
Well, as you guys both know, I'm alt-right. I have been for quite a while. There is a certain part of realism that has to happen. If they're going to go tribal, you had better go tribal too. And that's my thought process. That's why I say fast reality.
Like, okay, now, like, getting back to the Giants thing. Okay, now they took the Giant, right? And now we know that they're heavy into DNA and stuff like that. I think they might even be trying to maybe work something there. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to take that DNA from that dude and try to create something.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Super soldiers.
Yeah.
You've heard of that?
Well, I mean, like, I even heard that there's other giants. I mean, me and Jeff, we were like, not going to go there, but I'm going to go there. I heard there's other ones asleep, and the government found them, and they're like asleep, but only you can't get too close to them because just in their brain waves will kill you. You know what I mean? And they're, I heard our government is like intrigued with this stuff, and they actually found them when the Germans found them, is really who found them, and that's how we found out. And then we just been trying to find a way to get over there and take over, and have our way, with this area.
I honestly could not say one way or the other on that because I don't know.
Yeah.
You're speaking of something esoteric that I'm not a psychologist or some sort of brain specialist, so it's not been my experience. That's all I'll say.
Well, I got to let everybody know, like, I don't believe everything I say sometimes, but I just got to tell you that's how far the rabbit hole could go. You know what I mean? Like, if we thought that 15-foot giant was just one, was a trip, it could really get trippier, and...
Yeah, could be. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like I said.
Okay, well,
I was thinking, like, is there, like, anything else, like, when the giant spoke, did he speak in Arabic? Like,
No, it was weird. Like I said,
Bigfoot.
Watchers 10.
Right.
And he played it for me over Skype. And I said, wow, because I said it had high pitch and low pitch. And I tried to explain it to him, and he goes, listen to this. And when the producer played it, I was like, that's it.
Wow.
So it was a language of some sort, but I don't know. It wasn't Arabic. It was, no. Nothing I know of.
That's going to make me change. I mean, I already was scared. I mean, I let everybody know that. Like, when we go Bigfooting out to the woods and we find them, I mean, they're there. They're out. In fact, I think there's more of them there than there ever was now, which could be something like maybe they're messing around with the DNA and turning them loose in the woods. I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows? So. All right, Mr. K. I think I've kept you on long enough. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
If you ever want to come back on and just shoot the shit, that they say, and talk about more of this religious Bible stuff, I would love it. If you hear anything coming up in the near 3 or 4 weeks that you think we ought to tell our audience about, you can let me know and I will tell it. You don't have to come on, but if you want to, you're more than happy to come on. I'll be, anytime you want to come on and talk, about whatever.
Yep. No problem. Like I said, I will not speak of this again.
Right.
But I have no problem talking with you, gentlemen.
Okay.
Hopefully, I didn't bore.
No. Trust me, you didn't. Trust me, you didn't. All right, Mr. K, I'm going to let you go, man. I appreciate it.
God
Thank you.
You
And
guys have a great day.
all right, you
Thank
take
you,
care,
sir.
man. Thank you.
We'll catch you later.
All right. We're running behind schedule, so I'm gonna be, I want to continue talking about this, but let's go ahead and call this gentleman who called me a couple days ago
Right.
about Vietnam, and let's call him real quick.
Man, I tell you, that giant stuff, I love it. Like, I've been researching the giants for a long time. Especially,
Hello?
like,
Hi, Mr. Are you there?
Yes.
Hi, this is Jeffrey.
Yes.
How's it going? Okay, I got you on the. You're on the air, and I'm not gonna say your name, so
Right.
we're just gonna call you. Oh, I don't know, sir.
Doug.
Who? Doug.
Call me
What do you say?
the duck.
The duck.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, we'll call him the duck. Well, first of all, let's tell everybody that you called me a couple of days ago on
Yes.
my 24-hour hotline. You live here in Fresno, California,
Yes.
and you wanted to report something. Now, since you called me a couple of days ago, the actual event happened a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Explain to everybody what you witnessed.
On there was the UFO that I've seen. It looked to be between Shields and Dakota, and between Blackstone and further west somewhere.
Okay.
And it was angled in such a way that I could tell that it was perfectly round. It was all lit up around the outside edges, like a dozen, maybe 14 lights, and then there was a big light in the middle. And I went to take a picture of it, and the screen was in the way, and I couldn't get the screen off, so I went to go outside, and it disappeared.
Okay. Now, what's weird is that before I knew my co-host Ellen, I have had several reports around that area between Blackstone and west, between Shields and Dakota. For some reason, there is that is a hot spot in that area, as if something is coming in and out of that. I mean, I've actually had somebody say, and they were like a Dakota and Blackstone, that they were outside, they looked up, and they saw this thing open up in the sky, and something came out of it. And I actually had a report also of this family seeing something the size of a VW Bug west in Shields, and I actually did a report on it many, many years ago.
Well, this looked to be like at the airplane height when they're taking off and circling around before they start climbing,
Yeah.
and it was at least helicopter or like a small airliner size.
Dang. And that's why nobody really like pays attention, I think. You know what I mean? It's 'cause
Yeah.
It's like right in the flight path or whatever too. Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's curious. And then a few days later, they had spotlights shining up in the sky.
Yeah.
So, and I was telling him they do that so
They do.
so they can throw people off.
They even will send jets like flying in a triangle pattern when there's a triangle sighting.
Right. So, was it a coincidence that all of a sudden, right afterwards, they brought in spotlights and threw them up in the sky? No, it's not a coincidence, because they know people saw what you saw, and once you see these lights in the skies, you're going to tell yourself, oh, that's what I saw. It wasn't a UFO. Stupid me. Why did I call Jeff? Now I feel embarrassed. I feel stupid. Well, that's not the case. They do that to throw you off. So what you saw, I'm not going to tell you what you saw because I don't know, but it obviously was something that you weren't supposed to see. So
That's what I think. When I was in the military over in the Gulf of Tonkin, we had nukes on board one time, about June or July of '68, and we had one above our carrier, and the captain of the carrier told the whole crew, everybody, if you weren't on the flight deck, you didn't see it, but for the rest of the ship, people working in the belly of the ship down below, and he told them about it, and he said, it went up so fast that they couldn't track it on radar when it took off.
So do you think that, and you said this happened more than once on your carrier, right?
Yes.
And you told me you think it was because you guys were carrying nukes.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
When you put together all the disarming of the missiles that's happened and all the stuff around the nuclear power plant.
So let's talk about that a little bit. A lot of people say, and you say this, that, I take that back. A lot of the UFOs that people see, a lot of people think they're ours, and it's like, but what would be the purpose of us flying top secret aircraft around nukes in these different areas? Is it because I just can't see that? So is it somebody?
I can't understand why it would be our own military and on our own military stuff or nuclear power plants.
Right. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Is what would be the objective of us giving away our top secret? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So is it somebody else?
Or something else?
Something else.
According to the Bible, we've had visitors before they had airplanes or balloons or anything. So,
right.
People from the sky coming down, and whether it be Jesus or extraterrestrials or what, God created the universe. He created them too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Why would we spend so much money going into space looking for inhabited planets if we didn't believe there was anything up there? And the way the technology progressed from 1947 up until 67, when they took and launched to the moon, that's a big leap in 20 years of computers and all the rest of the stuff.
I don't really look at today. Like, I'm holding a computer in my hands. It's like flat as a board.
Right.
Right. And running video high def and everything.
Right. So so you were in Vietnam and you were on an aircraft carrier, and we talked about this a little bit a couple days ago when you called me, and you were going to try to think of any other situations where you overheard or anything else that you want to talk about that you saw that doesn't make sense to you when you were overseas.
Well, not so much overseas, but I've seen things in when I was living in Chicago and living different places and traveling around the country, and so it's something that's going on all over. It's not just in one place, but there's been a lot of reports and stuff during Korea and Vietnam and stuff that have started to surface from papers that they've released.
Yeah.
And it just makes me wonder,
Oh, I agree. I totally agree. There are people who are credible people, military, retired military, as of yourself, police officers, doctors, lawyers, that are witnessing these things that, you just can't say that everybody is crazy.
The only thing I can see is that the government's cleaning all the technology and holding back a lot of stuff rather than taking and let it out, and it's running this fear campaign to keep people in line by fear, and that works for a while, but it never works in the long run.
I believe, as we were just talking a little bit ago, that this election that's coming up, people are awakening, and they're realizing that the people that you thought were your friends up in higher, we're talking government, are really not there for your protection, for your goodwill, and
I think the last one we had that could be trusted was Kennedy.
I agree. And then they
And
snuffed him.
they killed him because he wanted to take and spill the beans on some of these plans that they're working on now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, you're not the only one saying that. That's for sure. So, well, do you remember the date that you witnessed this UFO?
I'm thinking it was around between the 23rd and the 26th of September, maybe 28th.
Okay. All right. So he's the reason why he came on, everyone, if you are listening here in the Fresno area, if you did witness anything around that time, he just wants to know if you saw it, because he's kind of curious, and that's why he called me. And I appreciate you calling me, Mr. Duck.
Yeah.
Like I said, you have my number now. So that area is a very hot area. Definitely keep your eyes open, and the next time you witness something, definitely call me then and there on the spot, so that way I can put out the word, and then we have people who are around Fresno who can get out there really fast and get outside and see if they can get a good video or a picture.
I think the more eyes we can get on something like that,
Oh, yeah.
and if we get people to get pictures, it adds more credibility to what's going on.
Oh, absolutely. And we've been doing this for a while now, so we do have a network here. So like I said, as soon as you see something, you make sure you call me, and I'll get the word out ASAP, and hopefully, we can get some good photographs, good video. So.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, hey, Mr. Duck, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Again, if you see something, make sure you call me right away, okay?
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
See, that's like almost right where me and a so-called our mechanic saw that thing flying.
Oh, true.
I mean, it was like right in there. Only what we saw was alive. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a mechanical thing.
Right. I'm just trying to find some stuff here. There.
So far, man, this has like been a great show.
Yeah.
Man, I was so sick, you guys. Oh my gosh, I had like strep throat, and then all of a sudden it turned to something else, and I had a rash all over my body.
All right. Well, let's
But I'm back.
let's go ahead and continue on. We got about 30 minutes left. So let's I have some stuff that I wanted to talk about, but for some reason the computer is crashing. I think it's just some adjustments that we need to go back in, and we need to fix that because
We've been messing around with it.
yeah, we're trying to get this multi-camera setup going, guys. We're having a tough time doing it. Hopefully we'll get it here done pretty soon, but we're adjusting stuff, and what's happening is when I go to show you a picture, it shuts down, so I can't show you any more pictures tonight because I don't want to lose you guys. And
Plus,
right now we're at
I
part
think
2.
somebody's messing with us too.
Well,
I'm not going to go into details.
yeah.
I'm just going to say
Something happened today, and it was just kind of weird.
Yes.
I wish I would have taken a picture of it before I fixed it, but there you go. Okay, let's talk about that situation that happened 3 weeks ago, where that for those who live in the area, and I talked about it on Facebook as well, the some body parts were found on Auberry Road, and this was a couple of weeks ago, and they actually shut down Auberry Road between Copper and up there Prather. Okay.
Mhm.
I played a couple of weeks ago. I played the news reporter as he was there on the spot reporting. They said they found what they couldn't make out was a human foot, or they just couldn't tell. Okay, and it was, and that's all they said. Now, the sheriffs at this point in time blocked off the street for the whole night. And what got me really thinking is that, you can't tell between a human foot or animal foot. And right away I said the only thing that can come close to resemble a human foot, being it if it was bones, is a bear. All right? And I said to you that the only thing that they need to come back, if it's not human, they need to come back. And I said Bigfoot. Somebody hit a Bigfoot. And that's the reason why, because we've had sightings in that area of Bigfoots. And I said, if they're not going to say Bigfoot, which I'm pretty sure they're not, that they need to come back and say it was a bear. So
But they never really said anything publicly.
no, they didn't. I actually had to email the PR person of the sheriff's department, and I got a response back to him. I actually posted it on my Facebook about a week ago, but I forgot to mention it last week because of our guest. So I'm just going to read the email to you guys right now, and then that way you guys can hear it. And this is Saturday evening. Deputies responded to the 16,000 block of East Auberry Road for a report of a bag on the side of a road that possibly contained human remains. Now, for those who listened to the news report that I played here, it never said anything about a bag. Okay, but here they're saying possibly contain human remains. The evidence was turned over to the coroner's office, and their test concluded that the remains were not human. It has not been determined exact. Oh, wait a minute. Oh shoot, this is not the right one. I'm sorry. I'm reading to you what the sheriff said. Okay, but they actually responded back to me, and they said that what was in the bag were parts of a bear. The bear parts. And they left it at that. Alan said the relative said that probably what happened. Poachers, somebody killed a bear illegally or legally, didn't have tags, whatever, got the meat off the bear and dumped it in, on the side of the road. Could have been, yeah, could have happened,
And that would be a good place to do it.
But this is the first time. I mean, to shoot a bear. Do a lot of people kill bears?
Actually, yeah. I mean, when I saw Bigfoot, my first time seeing it, I had a bear tag, and it was bent over in the bushes, and I thought I was going to get a bear.
But my question is, did you guys ever get a bear? Shoot a bear?
I never did personally.
What are the odds what are the odds of somebody killing a bear?
It's right now, this year,
and
good.
Dumping the parts where we have had Bigfoot spot. You know what I'm saying?
That is a trip.
You follow me?
Yeah.
What are the odds that this area, we constantly talk about Bigfoot sightings, and then all of a sudden this incident happens where they say we found what we think is a human foot,
but it's all
but
hairy.
We can't tell. But yeah,
remember they said it was all hairy,
but we can't tell. And that's right where my my antennas went up, and I went, wait a minute. So, if you're going to kill a bear and you're going to, strip it with the meat, whatever, blah blah blah.
See, most people I know, I know some people that hunt, and when I grew up, and they would poach. Okay. They never took the body anywhere.
They did it right there.
They would take a hind quarter or the back straps, the best parts, and then they would book it, and they would leave everything right there, because within a few weeks that would all be gone.
Right. The animals of the forest would
who
have
wants
dinner.
to get caught with a whole bunch of stuff?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially a 300-pound bear. That's not that easy to get away
Sure,
with.
and if you shoot it out in the mountains, wherever you're going to be, how are you going to haul that thing back to your vehicle?
Right.
Right.
I mean, for me, I thought it was highly suspect still, only because I never heard of that before. Every poacher, if they dumped the bear, why? And if you had tags, why in the first place?
Sure. There are trash cans. There are alleys with trash cans. Why are you going to drive up to the mountains and dump it on the side of the road?
Most everybody I know will take the claws off. Like if they shot the bear.
I would have loved to have the foot.
They would take the claws. They'll take the teeth. They take the pelt. And it becomes a bear rug.
Sure.
They'll take the head and mount it. None of that made sense about it being in a bag on the side of the road. Okay, that does not make sense.
Okay, but that's what the sheriff said, that it was a bear. Okay, so case closed. It was a bear, according to the sheriff's PR department.
In their email, and they never came out publicly, though. Okay.
No, they just
we haven't seen one news clip since.
They sent me the email because I sent them an email. I have the address or the email for the PR department, the sheriff's department, and that's how I got a response. It's because I initiated the contact.
Right.
Or else they would have never said anything. So there you go. Cool. All right.
Just
now,
easier for them to just like go quiet, and then everybody forgets, and except us.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I want to play you guys something here really quick. Audio. I'll show you the video. Die Hard 3. Okay, you guys know Bruce Willis, Die Hard 3 with not Morgan Freeman, but the other guy. Golly gee whiz, Batman. Hold on here. I need to pull it up. Die Hard.
Well, you know, like earlier when we were talking about, I really truly think that it's talking about America. Like I've been researching this now for like 3 years, and I think we're the hammer. I really do. And I've been thinking that for like 2 years. Only it doesn't specifically say we're the hammer. It just says the terrible people, terrible gods of war or whatever.
Okay, listen to this. This is okay. You know this guy's name. What's this guy's name, Alan?
I can't see it. Man, you asked me names. I'm not good at names. Will
No.
no. Are you talking about the driver? Or
Yeah, the driver. Not Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, yeah. The
Okay.
driver.
Can anybody go ahead and text on chat? What am I getting? Text in chat. Die Hard. Bruce Willis. It's Bruce Willis and the black guy, the black actor.
Damon Wayans?
No.
Samuel Jackson?
Yes, Samuel Jackson.
Okay.
Thank you.
They read your mind, and they're
Okay.
already trying
Listen,
to guess.
okay, they're right now, if you guys remember the movie, Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson are trying to solve this riddle because a terrorist planted a bomb in a school somewhere in New York. So now they're trying to find this riddle, trying to decode it so they can defuse the bomb. So right now they're both driving in this car in New York, and they're trying to resolve this riddle. Listen to the dialogue that they are talking about as they are driving in this vehicle. You guys ready for this?
Got a buzz.
Yeah.
Ooh, still the buzz.
Oh, sorry, guys. Just got to bear with it. Here we go. Yeah, that's right there. Coming, not coming. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Okay, here he goes.
Shit, what? Shut the phone. Oh, it's bad. Come on, what's 21 out of 42? I don't have a clue. Well, what about Yankee Stadium? We'll get there, but that son of a bitch is not getting off of Manhattan. Oh, gee, come here. You think you are, lady? Hillary Clinton? That's it. What? Hillary Clinton, the 42nd president. Oh, she'd be the 43rd president. All right, but who's the 21st?
Okay, did you guys just hear what they said?
The 43rd is Obama, isn't
No,
it?
he's the 44th.
44th.
But they're talking in 1995, Die Hard 3, they're already talking as if she is already been president. You guys want to hear that again?
Yeah.
Oh, gee, come here. You think you are, lady? Hillary Clinton? That's it. What? Hillary Clinton, the 42nd president. Oh, she'd be the 43rd president. All right, but who's the 21st? I don't know. You don't know? No, I don't know. You know? No. Well.
Okay. So at this point in time, in Die Hard 3, they're already announcing to the world that Hillary Clinton has already been our president, or is a president of the United States.
Did she run in that year?
No, she hasn't ran at all.
No, she ran. Remember when? And I seen some clips of Obama saying she was bad.
I'm sorry. She did not. She was trying
like
for
in-
the Democratic nomination
Right, yeah,
against Obama. Obama right now is the 44th president. Okay. Now because if you run two,
So that would still be before that
but-
movie, way before.
way
you know.
before. But if you run
I mean, the movie was way before.
1995.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
That
it would
this
be like,
this movie was shot during Bill Clinton's presidency.
right.
Okay, so at that point in time, if you really think about it, Obama is our 44th president. if he did not
make it,
it
would have been her.
It would have been her. So they would have been pretty damn close to distinguish. You guys want to hear that again? Okay. Oh, and listen to this. It's hard. They also mentioned Donald Trump.
What?
Okay, you can't hear this one because they're videotaped it off. Okay, if you have to go to YouTube, people, and type in Die Hard 3 Trump and Clinton prediction. All right, but what I'm trying to get at again, and I'm going to let you hear the.
Shut the phone. Oh, it's bad. Come on. What's 21 out of 42? I don't have a clue. Well, what about Yankee Stadium? We'll get there, but that son of a bitch is not getting off of Manhattan. Oh, jeez. You think you are, lady? Hillary Clinton? That's it. What? Hillary Clinton, the 42nd president. Oh, she'd be the 43rd president. All right, but who's the 21st? I don't know. You don't know? No, I don't know. You know? No.
Let's listen to that
42nd
again.
president. Oh, she'd be the 43rd president. All right, but...
Okay, so they're saying for her to be the 43rd president, which would be the president before Obama. So Obama's the 44th only because he won 2 terms. So technically, if Clinton would have won, she would have been the 43rd. And then if President Obama would have won, after that, he would have been the 44th. Does that make sense? Did I do that right? Or 45th? Anyways, I think that makes sense, does it?
She would be the same number as Obama,
which is 44.
Right.
But there's 2 terms that he won. So
but only still 44th, no matter how many.
No matter how many terms. Right. Okay. So, the President Bush would have lost the second, because it's President Bush then Obama, right? So if President Bush would have lost a second term,
that would have made her.
If she would have
43rd.
if she would have made the Democratic,
no, because he was the 40.
Well,
Bush was the 43rd, no matter what.
No matter what.
And no matter how many times he served.
Right.
Or
Okay.
years.
So a lot of people said that Clinton was supposed to be in place of Trump. Something happened. Trump was not supposed to be the president. It was supposed to be Clinton for some reason.
Maybe the Mandela effect happened.
So go do me a favor, you guys. Hillary Clinton predicted as president in Die Hard 3. Type that in, and go listen to it for yourself.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
There's really a whole bunch of stuff about this election like that. There, predictions wise,
right?
I mean, I've been hearing some. I saw a video. I even put it on my Facebook. I thought it was so interesting. Like, somebody told me to check out this one guy and see what he says about it. And I hope he's right.
What's that?
That Trump wins. That God is predicting that.
You know
Trump
what? Let's
wins,
talk about. Okay, this is going to. Okay, we're going to get into politics here, guys. So we got 10 minutes left. So if you want to turn it off now. All right, turn it off. There's the knob. Stop. Delete. I hate it when you guys talk politics. Well,
yeah, or religion, man. They really get after us.
I know. But you know what? This is
Sorry,
what we do. This is
it's
what we
paranormal.
Do. Okay. All right. I was telling Alan, if God wants Trump to win, not everybody is a saint. I'm not a saint. Alan is sure hell never was a saint. He's probably worse than me.
I know.
I know. Okay. So I started hearing stuff about this just not too long ago. All right. And Alan started throwing videos at me from people saying that in 2011, what was said that people were predicting, I don't want to say a savior, but someone to come in to not clean up the mess. But you mentioned somebody out of the Bible, Cyrus. Okay.
That's what the video I put up. 3 separate, different prophets, or whatever you want to call them, preachers, are predicting that he's going to be the Cyrus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Cyrus is in the Bible. I can't. I looked it up. I'm really bad with that, like what books and stuff. I can't remember. He took over Babylon, and he wasn't a Christian. Okay, he was a bad guy.
Who? Cyrus.
He was actually a bad guy.
And see, this is what I'm trying to get at, because we're talking Trump, Mr. Womanizer, Mr. been married 3 times, probably had an affair from what I understand. Then all of a sudden you hear this audio come from him when he was in the bus with Billy Bush about groping women. And that, just thinking about that type of a man, you think, oh my God, how disgusting, despicable. I don't want him as president. But then all of a sudden I hear out coming out of your mouth and other people's mouth that, wait a minute, supposedly this guy, Trump, is meant to be here.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, but if God has sent for him to be here, wouldn't he have sent somebody?
You mean like somebody a goody two-shoes?
A goody two-shoes.
No, he won't. He sends the right guy for the job.
Ooh.
Right? Like, who you gonna find a goody two-shoes that knows all about business as much as Trump? And do you think you got to be a nice guy to get there? I'm gonna tell you no.
Never thought of it that way. So you got to be the reason why you're the right man for the job at that particular time.
Right.
Even if you are a meanie, you talk like bad, you have a bad mouth on you, a potty mouth, but God needs somebody of your stature to be at the position you're at to carry out.
To rebuild. That's why they said Cyrus. Okay, Cyrus went in, took over Babylon, which was the ruler of the whole world at that time, right?
Okay.
Of their known world, okay? And then he rebuilt it, and then when he was in the middle of the job, and he doesn't know that it was a job that God gave him, but only he actually found God and became a God-fearing person and rebuilt Jerusalem and didn't kill anybody except the bad guys only, right? And that's what the thing with Trump. They're saying, he's going to send everybody back. And like, Jeff, they're going to send me back. Like, you know what? If they do a DNA test, we're all sunk, you guys. Like, if that's the case.
What do you mean?
Because there isn't nobody that
aren't related.
No, I mean, there's nobody that doesn't. We're not really white. Everybody thinks we're white. I'm like quarter Indian, quarter Mexican. Like I got a bunch in me.
Okay.
I might even have black.
So let's talk about Trump. He not too long ago. What's the word I'm looking for? Was because. How do you got back into God?
He got saved.
He got saved.
He found God.
Okay.
Supposedly, like within the last year or so.
Okay. So, what I have heard, and you guys can probably go look this up, but I've also seen video and photographs of Trump at rallies with people putting their hands on Trump and praying with him and praying for him. I've seen this in black churches. I've seen pastors and the people at the church all putting their hands on Trump and praying on him and praying for his safety, and I'm seeing a lot of that. But you're not seeing it. I am, because the media is not going to show it to you.
No, the media is not going to show you nothing.
And I'm catching that though. I'm catching that everywhere, and that it's blowing me away, because I would have never thought in a million years that it's like this. How did Trump get here? To be honest,
question.
He beat all of the Republican candidates, every single one of them,
and they hate it.
And all the establishment to this day hate it. I mean, they are doing whatever they can to get rid of him, whatever it's going to take. If it's a lie, if it's the truth, they're putting out rewards for you to get the best stuff on him. They'll give you millions of dollars if you can find it. But the establishment, I thought the reverse. I thought, how did this guy get here? Just like Obama did. How did this guy just come out of freaking nowhere to get to this point? I thought that, and I'm not saying the Antichrist per se, but an evil person was going to come in and because that's what I thought at the very beginning. But, it took me a long time, guys, to get to this point where I think Trump is here for a different reason. You guys might, for those who are listening, might think he is the worst guy in the world compared to Hillary, compared to what's happening right now. Look at what's happening with, Mr. K. We were talking about it with him. I placed it on my Facebook wall last Friday. CNN came out that they are going to initiate a cyber attack against Russia. And they are telling us this. It's in the media. The news is reporting it. They go, okay, why are you doing this? I told you guys before, and we're talking months and months and months, that there is no way they're going to allow Trump to be president. Why are they moving all of this military equipment everywhere? You guys seen videos on YouTube, on my Facebook wall, just picture after picture after video after video. Then all of a sudden, 3 months ago, stopped. Nothing. A lot of people were saying they're bringing the military equipment back from overseas. No, they don't do that.
No, they don't.
They leave it there.
In fact, I read an article. It's been a couple of years. Only the governors had got together because they keep sending over our National Guards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the National Guard takes all of our assets that we, as taxpayers in our state, bought. Okay, not the government, and then they go over there, and they take everything with them. And then when they come back on a plane. They didn't bring their Jeep, their truck, or anything back.
Right.
And the state wants it back. You know what I mean? Like we're out all our assets that we paid for. And so none of it is that. It may be they're making it in just to resupply the states. Maybe they're paying it back, and we don't know. It could be.
Okay.
But only it could be nefarious
too.
So
this is what's happening right now, you guys. Okay.
I'm more towards the nefarious part.
Obama and Hillary are blaming Russia for hacking the DNC and for putting out these emails. They are not saying it's WikiLeaks, Julian Assange. They are saying it's Russia. This is what I think is happening, and I've told you this a long time ago. I think it's our own people here in the States who are sending it to Julian, or and I'm telling you, like, it's the CIA, Department of Justice,
like Snowden types.
Yeah, even people inside the DNC, they're the ones who are, because they see what's going on and they don't want it to happen.
Right.
All right. So they're the ones who are sending it to WikiLeaks, and WikiLeaks is just regurgitating it and putting it back out.
Well, what is it they were calling it? October surprise?
Well, the October surprise. Now, check this out.
It's been a real surprise.
Well, it's supposedly the 33,000 emails that Hillary erased.
Yeah.
They got them.
No.
They have them. And they're going to release them in the next week or two. And they say that alone is going to blow up the DNC and everybody involved.
See, that I think that like I was asking Mr. K,
mm-hmm.
there's some military or people in government, and they're on our side.
Yeah, absolutely.
and we don't have a whole. Everybody's worried that they all turned against us. You know what? There's this thing called Oath Keepers, and I believe a lot of them won't join Oath Keepers because then it outs them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's an Oath Keeper. You know, we have to fire him, or he's not in the know how anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think they're just laying low and doing their job, but also they're on our side.
I believe that, the media, you guys, seriously, the media they're all bought out and paid for by the elite, by Soros.
It's been that way for a long time.
I mean, they do not want Trump in. Absolutely not. Okay, I can tell you that right now. Now, so this is what's going to happen. And Mr. K pretty much confirms it. He probably knows a lot more than we do.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I think what's going to happen is we're going to do the cyber attack, right? The elections are going to happen. And then what's going to happen is Trump is going to win by a landslide. But then the government or the higher-ups here are going to come out and say, wait a minute, we just found out that the Russians hacked the election and they made it look like Trump won. And then at that point in time, the Congress, who's controlled by the Democrats and the Republicans, guys, who don't want Trump, are going to say, you know what? This election is invalid.
See, the only thing is, everybody right now that could hear this, this isn't a hack job.
No, it's not a hack job. Well, no, it's not a hack job. I think
it's people that collect information already. I mean, all of our emails, all of our phone calls. Like he was saying, like there's a tsunami of every minute of information being collected and it's being stored. Okay?
Right.
So all her emails, our emails, everyone's phone calls, everywhere you went on the internet, every person around the world, it all goes into one big collection place, and then it goes out to where it's supposed to go, okay? So somebody, and there's several collection places, that way they call it, in the casino, we used to do it where you can't have one place, because if it burns down, then all the information's gone, right?
Right.
So you have redundancy. You got like several places where, so it could be coming out of anywhere out of these maybe 100 places that it happens.
And people that, like you said, people are releasing that's on our side.
And it isn't a hack job. They're just putting in the parameters of who they want.
And they don't, and yeah. Okay.
And that's coming out.
And they don't, what they don't want is they see what's happening to this country. Right. A lot of you guys might not see it. And
they want a different outcome.
Sure.
And they don't want her as their boss.
Absolutely not.
And I wouldn't either.
They know exactly what she is all about. They know exactly what Bill, and I know you guys don't like hearing that. For those who are Democratic liberals, you guys don't like hearing that, but that's the truth.
Everybody has to know, if they hear what Jeff just was saying about the Russians hacked it, know for a fact that it wasn't that at all. It was collected already and saved. And then so is your stuff too, if they want to use it against you later, which, if she becomes a president, probably would be used against other people later.
Now, you guys are probably wondering, why are we going out? And you guys, do you guys want me to actually play it for you? I mean, just the audio for a little bit here, so that way you guys can... Jeff, you're smoking crack. There's no way we would go out and tell the world that what's happening. Hold on. Let me find it here real quick. It's just right here. And I thought, I'm sorry. I got to go there. Hold on. I'll get it for you right now. I know we're running a little over, but I think you guys don't mind. This is good stuff.
They can turn it off if they want.
Okay, here it goes.
Shot fired, but NBC News has learned exclusively that the United States is poised for an unprecedented retaliatory assault against Russia in response to its interference in the U.S. election. Tonight, high-level U.S. intelligence sources are describing to us details of a CIA-led cyber retaliation against Russian computer systems. And it could get personal, targeting the Russian leadership from Vladimir Putin on down, who the U.S. accuses of sponsoring a series of hacks meant to undermine confidence in the American election. Senior investigative correspondent Cynthia McFadden has details.
See, now that's the
NBC
same
News has learned the
ones.
CIA is in the initial phase of a wide-ranging cyber retaliation designed to be both clandestine and embarrassing. Sources with direct knowledge of the operation tell us the target, the Kremlin leadership, particularly Vladimir Putin. If ordered by the White House, the CIA could manipulate things as specific as the banking accounts and personal phones of the Kremlin leadership.
There's a great deal of offshore money that has moved out of Russia through the hands of oligarchs. It would be extremely embarrassing if that were revealed, and doing so would be a way to have a proportional response to what we have seen.
The covert operation, the sources tell NBC News, is being run by a super-secret group inside the CIA. Top secret documents indicate they have a staff of hundreds and a budget in the hundreds of millions. The covert operation is designed to send Russia a signal to back off. How does it work? U.S. cyber operatives
Well, there
have
you
long
go.
been active.
They are
And we're
telling.
supposed to listen to the same media that won't tell us
Okay,
about Trump.
they are
right?
telling you. They are telling Russia right now. We're coming for you. We're gonna hack you guys right now. So why would they want to tell Russia and the American public that? Because they want you to think that the next time something happens, they want to blame Russia because of this.
Right.
Because we're the ones who initiated this. Now they're going to counterattack with that. You see? But Russia is probably not going to do it. It's going to be us doing it.
Yeah.
You follow me? That's what's happening right now. That's our media. That's NBC. Lester Holt.
See,
Lester Holt, Mr.
what
Guy
are
who
the-
did the debating, moderator. So think about that, guys. This is absolutely asinine. If you're going to go to war, are you really going to tell the opposition what you're going to do? Well, we just did. What?
Well,
So
if-
much for sneak attack.
If they want to go to war, if what Mr. K said was true, that would be suicide.
That's basically saying,
I mean, like-
do something to us, shoot us, go ahead.
Well, I mean,
right?
Yeah, I mean, like he just said that we don't even stand a chance
Right.
against them.
So,
You know,
what if something happens here in the United States, a false flag? As I said a long time ago,
a long time ago.
and I said it before everybody. I told you this election is not going to happen if Trump is ahead. It is not going to happen. And all of a sudden now they are initiating, our government is initiating something that I think is going to take place here in the States. What? I don't know. I just hope it doesn't involve a lot of death.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It could be something minor, like an EMP going off in a city, especially of New York, Florida, whatever. If all the electricity goes out on an election night, they have to stop the election. They have to.
I think I put a video up, and I got called on it by one guy. It was some preacher. I never heard of it, Begley or something. You know, I never heard of the guy, and you know, like I was researching stuff on YouTube and came across this guy because of the topic.
Okay.
Right. And this guy was reading off all the executive orders that Obama placed, and all really that has to happen is tension with Russia, or tension of a war, just tension, and they could start using these executive orders that's martial law and all this stuff. I mean, if you guys should read it, I mean, really listen to this one video.
All right, I just got a text from El Silva stating that Julian Assange had just been assassinated.
What? I mean, see there now, that proves it.
Okay, this is what's going on over the wire as of
So the bad guys got him.
an hour ago. Oh, did Hillary have Julian Assange assassinated? Rumors Julian Assange is dead. WikiLeaks post dead man's keys.
And I heard Hillary was dead like yesterday.
Okay, so is this true? I don't know, but this is what the word is out right now. I totally missed this about an hour ago. I guess it happened. Not sure if it's legit or not, but that's what's going on right now on Facebook. And Twitter, supposedly, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just putting it out there because I missed it because I was too busy or, talking what we're talking about here.
At 11:11.
What?
Suicide news at 11:11.
Oh, God.
Somewhere it's 11:11.
So, I can tell you right now, though, I don't know. I don't think it's true. And I'm going to tell you why. If Julian Assange has all these emails, he's not stupid to have it on one computer at one location.
Right.
All right? He has it set up all over the freaking place with different computers that if something did happen, they would initiate a send out that would send everything out to probably everybody who's involved in media, not in media, and social media. It would go out everywhere.
Well, I was the computer guy for the casino. Top. I was the admin, okay? He has to, if he's any kind of a computer guy.
Oh, trust me.
The redundancy part.
You have to understand, though.
If you have a fire where he's at.
Right.
And all of it would be destroyed. He is not going to do that.
But you have to understand, WikiLeaks is just not him. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people involved in WikiLeaks, so it's just not him. Obviously, he's in seclusion right now at the embassy in Guatemala or something like that. Only because supposedly the Americans he molestation or rape of a youngster, and they got him on it supposedly, so he can't come back to the States because they'll arrest him.
Just like Snowden.
Huh? Yeah, so he has to go seek asylum someplace, and I think the Guatemalan embassy has him right now at their embassy. But yet he's still scared.
These guys should be heroes, not chased down and hunted like dogs.
Yeah, so at this point in time, I don't know if that's fact or not. That's what Al Silva sent me over. I'm just putting it out there. But okay. Wow, what a show. You guys like that show? I did.
The ones in chat do.
Okay, this was an awesome show tonight, you guys.
At least as much. I haven't really looked at chat very much.
By the way, Dodgers won 1-0, just to let you guys know.
I'm trying to pay more attention to what's going on, than have my eyes down here.
Right, so. Okay, that's it. We're done. Hope you guys enjoy the show. We'll be back next week. Next 2 weeks, next 3 weeks is going to be really exciting with this election. I can tell you right now, it's going to get really exciting. For Jeffrey Gonzalez, Alan Thomas, Mr. K, Mr. Duck, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
You have been listening to Paranormal Central with Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and on the. Stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies. And we hope you witness something you cannot explain.